Appreciate the time, Coach. After Wednesday, you spoke about there being a silver lining to still taking possible 5 or 6 points. You crushed that silver lining with victories in your last two. Speak on how much that response boded well and able to do so with 2 wins this weekend.
Well, once again, being able to play here at home, we have to take advantage of these games. We have so many home games here down the stretch, and no matter what happens, if we're fortunate enough to get playoffs, we'll get some home games. So we have to have the understanding and use these games as lessons to learn how to win at home. And, you know, to only get that 1 point on Wednesday, to play a good game last night, battle back in the third period tonight, you know, we're coming together, we're resilient, we're being fiery, competitive, we're working. And it's not always the most pretty, it's not always the most effective, but we're finding ways. So happy with the effort, happy with the outcome. You know, the guys deserve what they're getting right now, and they deserve to be rewarded for it.
A player that we have spoken about on camera and off camera is a player that oozes professionalism is Ryan Liebel since he stepped into this building in day one back in November. 2 goals tonight. A player that's been staked in as of late. Just how rewarding is it on your end to see it, and of course being one who picks up the game win along with it tonight?
Yeah, you know, there was probably a moment in the game here where I got hard on him, and you know, back to your comment of the professionalism and the approach to the game and the way he carries himself, right, to come out and get 2 goals and to play the way he did the rest of the way, you know, give him credit for the way he's battling and competing, because, you know, maybe what people don't see is the stuff that happens away from the puck, stuff that happens, you know, if you just look at the score sheets and he might not be on it, you might not think very much of it. But he's a kid who's been giving us everything he has day in and day out since we traded for him. You know, him and I had a very open, honest conversation when I brought him in via that trade. And, you know, we've been reciprocating, you know, the trust and the respect to one another. And once again, a kid that's been working his tail off, earning his opportunities, doing really well for us on the PK, on the power play, 5-on-5, 5-on-6, whatever it might be that we throw him into, he's ready and he's prepared for it. So, you know, 2 goals for him tonight helps us get a victory. You know, shout out Shane Seller, 2 goals for him, helps us get this victory. You know, we're just finding ways to get it done. And the nice thing is we're kind of getting a rotation of guys who are stepping up and contributing through our lineup.
Giving flowers to the scores tonight certainly can be given to the goaltender. And we look at the play, the score might say otherwise when people first take a glance, but if you watch that second period alone, Maine could have taken that game for their own sake into the third with a much larger lead. But Alexander, a player we mentioned there, you acquiring Ryan Liebold, one who got right on the phone to acquire a player when necessary. You do the same when you need a goaltender. And Alexander, once again, what can you say about not just him in goal tonight? We'll start with that, but the 1-2 punch you have in goal right now.
Well, the fortunate thing for us so far this season is our goaltending, you know, has been steady. Doesn't matter who's been here, doesn't matter who we've played. We've had a steady, consistent performance, and you know, let's call a spade a spade. We probably scored 4 goals on ourselves this week, right? Even including tonight with the first goal against. But the thing that is appreciative that I respect with our goalies is they're fiery, they're competitive, they want to win. And the goalies is the toughest position to play, right? Like, we bring in Gage from a completely different organization, from a completely different franchise, and he's stepped in like he's one of our own, and he's fit right into the locker room. And the opportunities he's gotten to play, he's gone out there and he's competed and worked and, you know, won all of them except one, right? So, you know, to have him step in, fill a void for us while we are missing goalies, you know, credit to him for his work ethic and his attitude and his approach to the game. You know, same with Vinny, you know, the 1-2 punches you might call it. Like, it's still, once again, what I said earlier in the year, it's 1A, 1B. There is no 1, there is no 2. It's like we all know we have 2 goalies that can go in there and help us win a game any opportunity that they get. So, you know, happy for Gage to be here, to play well, to contribute on his side of things, you know, make those big saves through all those penalties that we had in the second period. And, you know, a kid, he needs a couple days rest here, and we'll get right back to it here on Wednesday.
Morning question for you, Coach. How much did you and the team enjoy the Bolton center ice square off and setting the tone in that second period that had goals flying and next thing you know, fish were going with it?
I mean, you have to respect what that position is and what a player like Bolts brings. And I got pretty fired up after the second period at the guys in the locker room, because for a kid to show up here essentially once a month, right? He comes down for a couple games a month, and to just step in there and go toe to toe at center ice in front of 4,000 fans and really do a good job in that fight, like, it gets you fired up. It gets you motivated. It gets you, gives you some emotion, gives you energy. And the thing that really bothered me was it was a 1-1 game when that happened. And essentially in that period we ended up down 3-2. And I had to reiterate the fact that we had one of our teammates, one of our players, step up for every guy in the locker room, right? So he deserves all of our respect and our hard work and our commitment for the last 20 minutes of the third period, and ultimately he got it. So, like I said, it's not an easy position. It's a position, honestly, that's kind of deteriorating, kind of dissipating in the game of hockey. But anybody who's willing to go out and do that for this team, for any team at any level in this sport, earns respect, commends respect, and it doesn't get overlooked by anybody.
Good to have him on our side.
Definitely good to have him.
Coach, take the time. See you one second.
Thanks.